Hey everyone, this is Darla with Growing Tropical, and I am super excited to be out here on my south side of the yard. The last video, or the last two videos I did for the year 2019, one of which was the window box that is directly behind me, where I was showing growing geraniums in my new Wayfair window boxes, which I absolutely love. My geraniums are doing absolutely beautiful, but I really want to get out here on the south side of this yard, and in that video I talked a little bit about what my goals were for this side of the yard. And this has been an absolute nightmare over here as far as watering is concerned. And so I'm going to jump right into the video and just show you guys exactly what I'm doing to rectify the water situation that I have going on over here. We tried to do like a drip irrigation over here, and while that is perfectly fine, and I like the idea, we just did not put near enough in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys a little bit of what I've already done, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to actually do some, I've got some drip irrigation that I need to actually get hooked up. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you guys what I'm actually doing to make sure that we get this side yard over here irrigated really, really well, because going through our summer months is just, we just get this side of the yard. South side is probably one of the hottest sides anyway, but this side yard over here, we have a fence and then we have the house, and I think the heat is just so radiant over here. There's just not a lot of airflow, and then with that hot sun beaming in, everything just dries out so bad, and watering over here is just, it's just crazy. So I have a plan, a game plan, and I'm trying to get drip irrigation all over the place, twice as much, actually might even be 3 times more that we had before. And I'm running little risers to some of the staple plants. So anyway, less talk, more doing. So let's go ahead and get right into showing you guys exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so here we are up close and personal. This, you guys, is the actual main drip tubing that has holes every 18 inches. I don't know if you guys can see that if I get the camera up close, but these little tiny holes right here, they're every 18 inches in this brown tubing. So what I'm going to do is, because this is not enough, and I really would like to have this croton have its own riser or water going right to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little brown tubing, and you can see the difference. There's the big brown tubing, and here's the small brown tubing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to not tap into these holes. These holes are already made by the manufacturer. There's actually something in there or whatever, so I couldn't even put something in there if I wanted to, or poke like the hose or anything and connect into there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come right about the center of these two holes right here. I'm going to come right in the center, and I'm going to take this little tool right here, this handy little tool, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to actually come in the front of it here, and I'm going to make a hole. So that little, you can see that. See, that made that hole right there. This little tool made that little hole right there. So what I'm going to do from there is I'm going to go ahead and take this little, the smaller brown tubing. I'm going to take it out of here, and I'm going to take off about what I think I'm going to need. Let's see if I hook it into here. I'm going to run it over here, and then I'm going to go ahead and just snip that off. And then what I'm going to do is I actually have a couple of different, these are actually Rainbird. I get these from Home Depot. They make lots of different kinds. I think Orbit makes one as well. But I've just been using the Rainbird. They have a bubbler and they have an umbrella bubbler. Now the umbrella bubbler, I'm going to go ahead and use it on this particular one, because this one actually, it kind of comes up and it just kind of goes over, where this particular one, this bubbler, it kind of sprays out. So we're going to go with this one right here. So let's open this up, and I'll show you guys what I've been doing here. Now this is what it actually looks like right here, and then of course this is your head. And what we're going to do is it's this little piece right here, it just snaps right off, and we're going to take the pointy end, and that hole that I just made, we're going to go ahead, hope you guys can see that, we're going to poke it right inside there. Whoops. I'm going to poke it right inside here until you hear a click. There. And then what we're going to do from there is we're going to take the tubing that I just cut and we're going to push it in there. And then the other end of this tubing, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it on this little riser right here. Then I can just go over here, push this hose back down, and I can put this right up close, right up close and personal here to my shrub. The beautiful part of this is, now what I'll do is I've got some staples that I'll go ahead and I'll put right in here to hold this main hose down, and then the mulch will cover over this right here. But the whole purpose of being able to do this is because I want to be able to get as much water over here and on these main staple plants as I can. Like I said, last year, it was a nightmare. I could not keep enough water over here. But by doing what I just showed you, by running, well, first of all the tubing, I'm going to turn the camera around so you guys can see. I've got all this brown tubing going all over the place. I've got it run all up and over, around, and I've taken it all the way down over into here. You can see all the busy. It goes up and around the back of the pitch apples. And now each one of these, what I've been doing, just what I showed you, each one of these, I've got the small tubing and I ran, here you can see one of the risers right here. And I've got them sitting all up close and personal. And by doing that, again, that way I will be guaranteed to have water going directly to each of these plants, as well as saturating the ground near it. That way when I go to put either some perennials or some annuals, those will get wet as well. So that is the goal, to be able to go ahead and get all the strip tubing in here and laid out. And I actually, like I said, I've already got it on this side going all around over here. And then next we got this side over here. You have to excuse all this mess. This is a total work in progress because I literally have pulled everything out and I'm rerunning the tubing. I'm just trying to think. We've started back in here and you can kind of sort of see we've got the tubing going back up in here, and I'm in the middle of pulling it all up. And we've got, actually what I started doing is we ran basically the same situation that we did over back on the other side. I did it over here, but I ran it all the way up the pole, up and around my hook and my weeds. I gotta clean that out. But I've got drip irrigation running to both of my pots. Let me show you this one down here. I have another one that's going to be irrigating the pots. You can see I've got it right over here. It starts down here, goes up the post, up around, and then of course it's going to be going into my pot. So I am so looking forward to that because I could not even, I mean, as much of a nightmare as it was to irrigate the side over here, the ground, the pots, I had things in there that turned crispy critters so quick it wasn't funny. I mean, we're talking coming out here 2 or 3 times a day just to water them. I couldn't do that. So by this drip irrigation, I'll be able to turn that on and have it drip in, you know, consistently throughout the course of the day as it dries out in the really heat of the day, if that's necessary. So anyway, you guys, I'm going to keep you updated as to what we're doing, what I'm putting in. I have just a few things that are going to be new over here, and I just kind of wanted to make this video to show you where we were at in the process with running this drip irrigation. And again, as I put things in, what I'll do is I will make videos to show you the progress over here, and hopefully with this drip irrigation, everything will just grow really beautifully. So I hope this was an inspiration for you guys to maybe think about doing drip irrigation in your landscape, because I'm telling you, it has just been a real blessing, but you've got to get enough in. That is probably the key, not probably, that is the key, is making sure that when you're doing this irrigation, that you're getting enough in to be able to irrigate what you actually have. And obviously, I didn't take into consideration being the south side of the house, this getting just like really the heat of the day in the summer months. I just didn't really think that through. I don't really know why. I just didn't think it through. So anyway, you guys, this has been a great video for me to try to demonstrate and show you guys what mistakes to avoid when you are putting in drip irrigation. So until the next video, bye for now, you guys.